Oh, that is good. That's good. And just for clarification, like I've said in previous streams, it's that. Now, this is going to be a long stream, so buckle up, grab some popcorn, grab some alcohol, grab some munchies, and settle in because I could be here some time.
Long stream.
Now,
So
feedback. So I'm starting a bit earlier than I usually do, so I'll expect a flurry of people to start coming in as the stream progresses. But essentially, in case you hadn't read the title and you don't know what this is going to be about, this is going to be somewhat of a rant about Halloween Ends. Now, I've talked at nauseum about Halloween Ends, and my thoughts and feelings on Halloween Ends in and of itself. Let me know how the sound is, everybody. Let me know if you can hear me and whatnot. It is mad hot in this room. I'm just going to open up a window. Right. Okay, so let's run through the chat. Let's see who we've got up on in here first. We got AR, we got Adam, we got Hugo, we got Lisa, we got All Valley. What is up? Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. Every time I move the microphone. Happy Halloween, one and all. I'm going to just leave the microphone there because every time I seem to move it, yeah. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Cody, what's up, dude? Sound is good. So, yeah, it's also hot in the room because I'm here. You see, that's when any room I walk into, the heat just magnifies, like it just explodes. Like I'm talking off the charts. Cobra Kai, what's up, dude? So essentially, yes, I will be talking about Happy Halloween, Dominic. I will be talking about Halloween Ends, and I'm going to be talking about all things Halloween Ends. With just me on my ones. I've talked about it with the Kings. We did a full watch party to the trilogy yesterday, and in case you guys didn't stay to the end, I don't blame you at all for not staying. I fell asleep. Like I legitimately fell asleep, and it wasn't because it was like the Halloween 1978 watch party where I fell asleep just because I was tired. I literally actively chose to go to bed because I didn't like the movie. It's one of them movies that isn't so bad it's funny. It's just straight up awful. Like I hate it. I hate Halloween Ends with a passion because it represents everything. And I mean everything wrong with the Hollywood game at the minute, right? And the reason I have included the 3-act structure, I can feel the breeze coming from outside now. The reason I have included the 3-act structure in this is because I want to bring more awareness to this about the importance of the 3-act structure and why it is so significant to storytelling. You can ask anyone who trains in acting, anyone who trains in film, anyone who trains in anything to do with theater, film, TV, whatever. Anyone who trains in media, there is a system in place for a reason. Evan, son, what's up? So there's a system in place for a reason. Now, for those who don't know what the 3-act structure is, let me just focus my camera. It's always does this for some reason. Give me a sec. Hang on, let me just focus it with my green lightsaber. There we go. So for those who don't know what the 3-act structure is, the 3-act structure essentially is divided into 3 acts. You have Act 1, which is your setup. It's your foundation. It's the introduction where you introduce a plot point, sort of where the foundation of the narrative is built up. And it's all set up. Then you get to Act 2, which is, for all intents and purposes, is the confrontation. It's where the stakes begin to rise, the tension amplifies, and the all hope is lost kind of thing. It doesn't end well. It doesn't end on a happy note. It, generally speaking, ends on a bit of a downer for the one simple reason. Act 3, resolution, crisis, and then falling action. And the reason Act 2 is supposed to end on a bit of a downer and a bit of a bleak one is because that's what makes it even sweeter in the 3rd act, when the heroes overcome the obstacle. I will use the original trilogy from Star Wars as a prime example. You get to A New Hope. That's the foundation and the narrative and the world building and setting up all the little mini story arcs and then the big story arcs and whatnot. Then you get to Empire Strikes Back, where the stakes are raised, questions are asked, and the characters, for all intents and purposes, are tested. They're pushed out of their comfort zone, they're pushed out of their element, they are tested to the point where they begin to question everything about themselves. Maybe, are they on the right side of things? Are they doing things right? Is this morally acceptable? Am I going the right way? Those kinds of questions. And it doesn't end well. It ends on a bit of a somber note. And then you get to Return of the Jedi, where it has mini story arcs that, and as I've said before, the first half of Return of the Jedi is a bit 50-50. You know, you got to get through some grovel in there, but it pays off. Hey, Tristan, it pays off the little story arcs in between. So then when you get to the payoff, Return of the Jedi has one of the single most amazing third acts I've seen out of any movie ever. I mean, ever. The third act is insane. Like everything about it slaps, and every character gets their due. Every character. That's what I'm talking about with the 3-act structure. There's reasons why in trilogies and in theatre these things are told the way they are. It's not my opinion. It's not hearsay. It's not no. Sorry, no. There's reasons why these things are in place. And lately, there's a fascination in the Hollywood game with taking a trilogy and flipping it on its head and being avant-garde just for the sake of being avant-garde. And again, my problem with that, it's like when you're playing a game of Jenga and, you know, you're building all the pieces up, and then Timothy just decides, I'm going to start playing now, and then starts pulling blocks out of it before you've even built the tower. Like, before you've literally got the box out the cupboard, you're building the Jenga tower up, and then Timothy goes, I'm going to start playing. It's like, whoa. Hold on a minute. You can't do that. I haven't built the tower yet. You don't get to take any pieces. Get your hands out of it. And that's what it feels like with this trilogy because of Halloween Ends. So Halloween Ends, right, with all that we know about the 3-act structure. Augustus, sup, dude? Happy Halloween, back at you. And you know what, just on a bit of a funnier note, let me play a little clip from our sponsor, right? Where is it? A little clip from our sponsor. Where is it? Let me find it. Trick or treat, motherfucker. There you go. Busta Rhymes drop kicking Michael Myers through a window. Jesus Christ, I can't believe I actually take that over Halloween Ends. Again, it's Pepsi Max. It's nothing else. Tell you what, Pepsi Max and ice in a glass. Oh, hits. Actually, wait, no. It's not even Pepsi Max. It's just Pepsi. But back to what I was saying. Now I've instilled the context of a 3-act structure. Let's look at the Halloween trilogy in that vein, okay? You get Halloween 18. It's a good first act, okay? You know, it's not amazing, but it does what a first act needs to do. It does exactly what a first act needs to do, regardless of whether we like it or whatever. You can't objectively go against the fact that it does exactly what a first act needs to do. You can like it or dislike it. That's fine. Pepsi bottle in a Coca-Cola glass. No. I can't say the word, AR. The simple reason I can't say the word AR is the YouTube powers that be will just go demonetized. And yeah, I'm not going through that. But essentially, Halloween 18 is a good first act. It's a good reintroduction to the world. It establishes the foundation. It brings the characters, all the players that we're going to be using, except Corey for some reason. But I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Then you get Halloween Kills, where, again, like I've said before, the whole evil dies tonight! Like, that shit was repetitive as hell. I was just like, okay, shut the fuck up. Like, can Michael just kill these people, please? Like, it's annoying. But, oh, it's a meme. Oh, right. Oh, I haven't seen that. Oh, damn, Jesus. But essentially, the whole, you know, evil dies tonight. Yeah, it's a bit, you know, it's a bit much. Like, come on, you're overselling it a bit here. But by and large, it feels, when you're watching Halloween Kills, it feels like a second act. Like, it literally opens up with Michael slaughtering people. And again, I might have to do a Chosen Live on this as well. The opening of a movie is so crucial to the rest of the movie because it sets the tone from the jump. And the best movie I can use as an example, Batman versus Superman. The movie in and of itself, but the opening is one of the best openings I have ever seen put to screen. Ever. Ever. Just the tone, the feel, the score, the look, the aesthetic, the design, the cinematography, the choices, everything. I love the fact that they use Man of Steel's events and they give you a new perspective in Batman versus Superman's opening, and that gets the steam train rolling. That is so crucial. Batman 2022, amazing opening. And for me, speaking of storytelling, writing books of my own, if my execution goes well, Augustus, you keep chipping away at that, son. You keep chipping away at that. Let us know how it goes. That's the one thing about doing this YouTube game, meeting a lot of creative people now. Like-minded creative people. About time. But essentially, we're then 2 for 2. Halloween 18 and Kills, first and second act, regardless of what you subjectively feel, they're okay. Now, we get to the elephant in the room, and I'm going to need a drink. You know what? For my Star Wars fans, it's no surprise that this Chosen Live is called Chosen Live number 66. And me being a Star Wars dude, execute order 66. Like, I mean, come on. It's perfect. Halloween ends. Right, where do I begin? Speaking of the 3-act structure, this movie does not feel like a third act. It feels like another first act. It feels like we're starting again. You can't do that. You can't do that. You're in the third act. What the hell are you doing? You can't just take the foundation, go a bit of that, a little bit of this, a bit of that. Oh, got to have a bit of that in there, and then just ignore everything else. Like, it felt like we had the foundation, and they just went over there, and then they said, "Whoa, here's what we're doing." You can't do that. You can't do that. You just completely degraded the previous 2 movies. Again, regardless of what we subjectively feel about 18 and Kills, it becomes irrelevant when you look at the 3-act structure. The third movie doesn't feel like a third act. It feels like we're starting again. You can't just take the narrative and the foundation, toss it out the window, and then begin again. That's not good storytelling. That's not good storytelling at all. And then the marketing for this movie didn't do itself any favors. Oh, Laurie, let me pull the microphone.
Laurie Strode versus Michael Myers, the showdown of the century. Final girl versus the boogeyman.
My ass. It was thrown in. What you see in the trailer is literally it. That's it. Michael's barely in the movie. He's like a cameo for the final movie. No. And let's get on the Corey character here. If you're going to do what they did with Corey's character, people would have bought it more if you had introduced him in 18, or at least in Kills. But they didn't. They introduced him in Ends. Literally in the end. That's like introducing Luke Skywalker in Return of the Jedi. You literally just take the previous 2 movies and you toss it out the window. What? That's not... No. No. It really frustrates me at the moment that Hollywood has this huge obsession when it comes to the third act or the second act. When it comes to the 3-act structure in general, edgy and being different justifies bad stuff. No, you don't get to just begin again. Halloween Ends feels like a first act. Laurie versus Michael at the end is so unearned. And think about that for a second. 18 earned it. Kills earned it. Ends didn't earn it. Why do you think that is? Because they didn't follow the 3-act structure. It feels so unearned and so unorganic. I don't believe it. You're putting it on screen, you're telling me these two are fighting, and I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You've done a poor job at making me think you actually cared about this fight. Because if you actually cared about the final fight, you would have had some emphasis on it. Instead, you got Laurie grocery shopping and baking cakes, and Allison's doing some weird Stockholm syndrome thing going on. What is going on here? And then you've got Corey, right? And shout out to the actor that plays Corey, because I think he's great. With what he's given, he's good. However, his character is placed wrongly. And if you're going to end the Halloween franchise, wouldn't it have been smarter to set Corey up as something to go along the like carry on along the line if you wanted to make another movie or something? They kill him in the movie. So the point of the movie means nothing. It means zilch. Big fat zero. It's wasteful. It's like you literally spent half the movie setting this character up just to kill him off at the end. If I can't have her, then no one can. Then he kills himself. And then Michael finishes him off. And speaking of Michael, I knew it was BS that Michael would bugger off for 4 years and hide in a sewer. I knew that. However, my issue with it lies herein. He drags Corey into the sewer, right? Let me just set the scene for you. He drags Corey into the sewer, okay? So he drags him into the sewer. He then walks around the sewer, waits for Corey to get up. Corey's trying to leave, and then Michael does this. So I have some questions. First of all, why does Michael need to pull him into the sewer, for one? Kill him. 2, why does Michael leave him there? Again, kill him. 3, why does Michael purposefully walk all the way around just to grab him through a wall for a good trailer shot? He doesn't need to do... The things that Michael does in this movie, he doesn't need to do. This is what Halloween movies consistently get wrong with Michael Myers' character. He's the boogeyman. He's the shape. He's there and then he's not there. You don't see his process of how he gets from A to B. He just does. He's there and he's not there. In the blink of an eye, he's gone. And again, the problem I have with this, and what really twists my nuts, is the fact that Michael has a supernatural edge to him. That's what Michael Myers is so strongly known for, is he's a human, right? He's a human. Let's go back in the timeline. He's a human where he stabs his sister as a kid, okay? And you're thinking, what happened to him? Like, what took over him? Even Dr. Loomis says in the original, he had the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes or something to that degree. And I'm just thinking, that's awesome. He's human, but he does this random act of disgusting nature to the point where you can't place him. Like, you legitimately can't place Michael Myers if he's human or if he's supernatural. It keeps you guessing. It keeps you questioning. And that's what the enigma and the integrity of the character has always been, is that, can you beat him? I don't know. Should you try? Maybe. Should you run? You should probably just run. And that's what makes Michael Myers, in my opinion, above most of the horror movie icons, because you can't place him. Freddy Krueger, supernatural. Jason Voorhees, supernatural. Ghostface, human. Chucky, supernatural. Jigsaw, human. You can place them. Michael Myers is an anomaly. You can't place him. You don't know whether he's going this way or you don't know whether he's going that way. And what I absolutely adore about the character is it never answers it. It doesn't tell you. So when you start learning more, you're doing a disservice to the character. And that's what this movie begins to do again. It starts retreading that supernatural edge that is so not needed. Like, Michael's grabbing him by the throat, looks into his eyes, and all of a sudden, Michael has Inception like Doctor Strange magic, where he can just go, and then, like, see. He's like, we're connected, Corey. It's like me grabbing the camera and doing this. We're connected, fans, subscribers, we're connected. Like, I'm looking into all of your eyes. Like, since when did Michael have the ability to do that? Again, if that was Corey's first interaction with Michael, I would be more inclined to give it a pass. The fact this dude literally dragged him into the sewer and then walked all the way around, like, he doesn't need to do these things. It's like that stupid thing in Resurrection in the opening where he stabbed, like, Laurie's dead and he gives the knife to the security guard. Why does Michael need to do that? Michael doesn't need to worry about federal investigation, detectives. He's a great white shark. He just goes around killing things. Like, he doesn't need to worry about the logistics and the legitimacy of things. That's not Michael's character. And then, speaking of Michael's character, the character assassination. I'm going to take a quick swig of this. That's what happens when you're talking a lot. This is good. The character assassination on display here. Michael Myers, like I said the other day, is standing in the sewer like a statue, like this. And later on in the movie, Corey goes there being the edgy, like, Incredibles, they got that syndrome dude. That's basically what Corey is on steroids. He's like, you have something I want. He goes in there, and I kid you not, he literally fucks up Michael. Michael Myers, he grabs him, and he literally, like, RKOs him on the floor, and he's, like, punching him and kicking him and kneeing him, pulls his mask off, and I'm just like, what the hell is it? What is this? What are you doing? How did we get here? What? In the previous movie, Michael literally takes out 20 people at once. And now he's losing to kids and grannies. What? That makes no sense whatsoever. I was sat there in the cinema watching it thinking, oh my God. They did not just do that. I literally sat there in disbelief. And my response was, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Get out of here. You got to really make me believe that. The only way Karen took Michael's mask off was when he was down and out for a bit. That's the only way. Corey literally goes in there, beats the crap out of him, and takes it and makes off with it. And then we've got Corey going around killing those bullies. And I've got to say, this is another trope that I wouldn't even call this a trope. I'd just say, can people stop doing this in movies? The bullies that they have in Halloween Ends, right? I know it's fictional, but I'm going to say it like this. They would get eaten alive in the London school systems. You got to make me think those are bullies, because they would be the ones who are getting bullied. It's so unbelievable. I'm looking at it and I'm like, Jesus, this is so unearned. All of it from top to bottom. And then when Corey kills them later on, I'm just like, I don't. Well, I mean, to be fair, I actually didn't mind it because they kind of deserved it. But it's just like, we don't see Michael do anything up until literally the final third act of the third act for 10 minutes. That's not how it should have happened at all. You don't have to have Michael in 80% of the film, but I'd say a good 70%, 60 of push. I'd say even 50%. I would have been fine with 50%. He's in the movie for a grand total of like 5 minutes. And obviously, it's not about the length of screen time. It's about how you use it. As No Way Home showed us, Andrew and Toby didn't have as much screen time, but they were used well. And the problem I have with it is Michael takes a back seat to Corey. Who the fuck is Corey? It's Michael Myers. Would Freddy Krueger take a back seat to some other copycat? Would Jason Voorhees take a back seat? Hell, even Ghostface copycats kill each other. Like, it doesn't feel earned. It doesn't feel organic. It feels like it was synthetically created just to be different. Bro, I like Corey in this costume. Well, I mean, it's no, sorry, not Michael Myers. It's what they should have done. They absolutely should have done was set Corey up for like an anthology series or something else down the road. That would have been, I would have been fine with that. The Halloween movies are ending. Okay, you still want to make money. Set Corey up for a spin-off. All right, fine. But again, you label it as Halloween ends, and Halloween doesn't end. Like, it ends for the last 10 minutes, and that's it. I tell you what, that final 5 minutes saved the entire movie. Because up until that point, I was so disillusioned. I was like, what am I watching? This movie is terrible. It's straight up terrible. Everything about it. The lighting, the editing, the awkward transitions, some of the acting, the directing on display. I'm like, what? It doesn't feel like... Again, you can have your feelings on 18 and Kills, but at least those movies are competently made. It felt like with this movie, no one gave a shit. Everyone was just phoning it in. Oh, Halloween's ending. It's ending. It's ending. How you end it is as important as ending it. That's why I always talk about it with Cobra Kai. The infamous cake scene. Oh, God. That cake scene. Lovely. Don't mention cake. Because, yeah, the last time. But it's so unearned for me. Everything in this movie is unearned. And I tell you what, during that watch party that me and the lads were doing yesterday, I really wanted to go to sleep. I didn't want to watch it. I literally thought, you know what? I'd rather watch H2O. I'd pretend that's my ending. Because you can literally take the final 5 minutes of ends, cut it out, stick it on the back of Kills. That's it. You don't need a whole movie. You don't. And the reason, again, I have another problem with it is it doesn't feel like a natural progression for Allison's character. It doesn't feel like a natural progression. It doesn't feel like this is a genuine progression. Like, it feels like when Michael Myers is, like, you know, potentially back, it's like she's, like, arguing with Laurie about it's all Laurie's fault. It's like, that doesn't feel organic. That's like Han Solo blaming Luke in Return of the Jedi for what happened to him. That it doesn't feel organic. It feels like it was synthetically created just to be shocking. You know, just so we could sit there as the audience and go, oh, I didn't expect that. Oh, I didn't expect that. Sometimes the simplest way is not just the right way, but it's the best way. Yes, you fall into trope category. Yes, sometimes you might, you know, retread the same thing you've done a million times before. I get that. But there's a point of this movie where I'm looking at it and I'm just like, you've made 18 and Kills redundant. They mean nothing now. They mean nothing. Because when you're watching it, you know where it ends. No pun intended. Like, you know where it ends and you know how it ends. So when you're watching it, you're like, you know what? Tuh. I mean, I remember when I was doing the stream with the Kings about it, and we mentioned about Allison blaming Laurie, and I'm glad you brought this up, Tristan. So it's Laurie's fault for protecting kids? Like, I mean, hell, I'm just doing my job and fuck me for babysitting, for Christ's sake. Like, again, it's not earned. I don't believe it. It feels like it was just thrown in there just to surprise people. And this whole movie, from top to bottom, is just a mess. It's a mess. Like, 1 minute, you've got some weird, like, biker montage with, like, Allison and Corey, like, you know, driving like it's selling out a Ghost Rider. And it doesn't feel like a Halloween movie. The only praise I can give this movie, that it's raining quite nicely outside at the minute. I like late night rain. It's very soothing. Especially with the wind and the breeze. Ah, soothing. What was I saying? Crap. Hold on a sec, guys. Don't believe it. It feels like it was just thrown in a Ghost Rider. And it doesn't feel like a Halloween movie. There you go. Got it. The only praise I can give this movie, right? The only praise I can give it is that it tried something different. That's the only praise I can give it, is that you've got done like 12 Halloween movies. I give you credit for having the bollocks to try something different. Okay, I commend you for that. But again, you're in the third act. You don't get to do this. You don't get to do it in the third act. It feels like we were beginning again. It feels like we were starting again. I don't like that. Hey King, what's up? Sup Jacob, happy Halloween. Happy Halloween to you too, Danny. Ends was Jacob's favorite. Thanks, Danny. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I was content with watching H2O yesterday, but can't have everything. Tell you what, give me some jerky. I hate this movie. I hate it. I seriously hate this movie with a burning passion. It's not even so bad that it's funny. The movie is just straight up awful. Everything about it. I mean, what I would have done, because, you know, people say, oh, you're just complaining about it, but you're not offering any suggestions. Here's what I would have done. You keep Corey, right? And you have Corey's arc play out the same way without Michael. Right? Hear me out. You have Corey's arc play out the same way without Michael. So that way, when he goes down that road, Allison and Laurie are thinking, oh my God, is evil re-emerging? And then they think Corey is the beginning of something new, which he can be if there's a potential spin-off post what I'm about to say. While at the same time, Michael Myers re-emerges, goes on a killing spree, he's back, at the same time Corey is descending. So then, you create a conflict, a third act conflict, where you have Corey going down this road, and you've got Michael Myers re-emerging. And then, you have the two storylines intersect at the end of the movie. You have evil that was born evil, and then you have nurtured evil. And the reason I say that is because it brings into the debate and the conversation the philosophical argument, nature versus nurture. Was it Michael Myers' nature as to why he killed his sister? We'll never know. Was it Corey's nurturing that turned him into the killer? We could know. That's how I would have done it. You could have created a great conversation there. I mean, personally, I wouldn't have included Corey's character whatsoever, but if I had to include him, that's how I would have done it. I wouldn't have had Corey meet Michael at all. And then when you get to the third act, you have Corey versus Michael. You have Corey, Laurie, Allison, Hawkins, and Lindsay taking the fight to Michael. All of them. Like, that's what I personally would have done that. Got a hair strand here. It's really winding me up. Yeah, that's what I personally would have done. But it felt like they just thought, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do a bunch of crap. The fans will eat it up either way. We'll say the franchise is ending. And because it's ending, they don't mind how it ends. No. Yes, we do know. We do mind. Well, Garrett, I agree. I agree. It's the same. Why didn't they just do this? Well, I mean, Augustus, this is the thing. While watching it, it felt like I was watching a Disney Plus show. Where it was like, hey, so we got this new project. It's dropping on this date, this time. Be there, be square, and show up with your popcorn and yeah! You know, it felt like it was literally just for that reason alone. It wasn't like, okay, we're ending a saga that's 40 years in the making. It literally felt like it was advertised at people that could be literally sat there in the cinema, nudging each other, going, oh, yeah! You know, that's what it felt like. It didn't feel like, you know, we're going to do this in a way that respects the lore and the legacy of the characters. No, we're just going to end it. That's how you end it? That's how you end it. And I don't mean to be that guy, but Jamie Lee Curtis isn't getting any younger. So the likelihood that she's ever going to play Laurie again it's very slim. I mean, she said no before, and then H2O, Resurrection, 18. So never say never. She could play Laurie again, but then that means you bring Michael back, and that means you undo this whole trilogy again for like the third time. I am so frustrated because what really annoys me and what really winds me up is we knew that Michael Myers was never going to permanently die because money, 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 money. So I was fine with them continuing after Ends as long as they gave this particular story an ending. This 3-act play, 78 and 18, kills and ends, and then that's your box set. That's your Halloween timeline. And then if they want to continue it after that, then fine. They can absolutely do that. But at least they wrapped it up here. That's my thing. At least they wrapped it up here so you have a complete story, regardless of what they do with it going forward. You know, it's so incredibly frustrating to me because we're never going to get this chance again. We aren't. Michael Myers will come back for sure. Laurie? Probably not. And if Laurie doesn't, Allison might not even, because Allison doesn't even live in Haddonfield anymore. She's like, I'm leaving. Which is exactly what they should have done to begin with. Allison and Laurie staying in Haddonfield, I don't agree with. They should have got the hell up out of there. You should have opened Halloween Ends, right, with Hawkins getting killed off. That's what I would have done. What I would have done is you have Hawkins die in the opening of Halloween Ends. That way, you make it personal. That's what I would have done. Sorry about that. The wind's blowing all my stuff all over the place. Hang on. Bloody camera. There we go. So that's focus. You come on. Focus. There we go. That's what I would have personally done. You have Halloween Ends open up with Hawkins getting killed off. So that way, Laurie gets the call. Hawkins is dead. Michael's back. And that gets her back in the fight. Because, to be honest, right, I don't believe that Laurie would be still there after losing her daughter and going, you know what? I'm going to sit here on this chair all week with this gun and I'm going to be hunting Michael Myers. And like, I don't believe that. I think she wouldn't want anything to do with it. She want to get literally out of the environment, right? Or you keep Laurie in Haddonfield. Allison goes, maybe, or for a vacation or whatever. But you need there to be some kind of emotionally compelling reason in the movie to why we need to root for Laurie. Oh, yes, she's the final girl. It's her and Michael. Final fight. Yeah, I know, but you need something stronger. Something of an emotional tether to go, you know what, Laurie? Kick his frickin' ass. That's what we needed. We needed there to be some kind of way, right, to set the stage. And what better way to top 18's opening, Kills' opening, with Hawkins dying right at the start by Michael's hand. Laurie gets the phone call and she's like, I'm coming home. Like that to me would have been better, because then there's an emotional reason to root for Laurie to take him out. And then you don't have to do this weird subplot with Corey. You can have the focus be on Laurie and Michael. It's the same thing I complained about with Kenobi. Even though it's Kenobi's show and you got Anakin involved, we focus way too much on Reva. Way too much on Reva. They do it again here. They do it again. Instead of Laurie and Michael, it's Corey. Instead of Anakin and Obi, it's Reva. Like, it's like, can we stop doing this? Focus on the characters that we're here for. Stop it. Like, it's getting tiresome, you know? Man, I've been ranting for a good 40 minutes nearly. I'm just getting warmed up. But that's what I personally would have done. I would have killed Hawkins in the start of the opening to give Laurie a reason to come back and say, you know what, Michael? I'm finna take your ass out. That's what I would have done. But apparently I'm in the minority for some reason. The only trilogy we're going to get, as of the last few years, that is consistent is the Venom trilogy. The Venom trilogy is consistently disappointing. Yet it's going to be the most coherent. That's where we're at. That is where we're at. Venom 1 and 2 and 3 are going to be the most consistent trilogy in the last however long. What is going on here? And as I said before, you can have your opinions on 18 and Kills, but you cannot deny if Ends was decent, Halloween would have had a decent trilogy for once. And not just Halloween, but horror in general. When does horror ever get a decent trilogy? Never does. It's so rare and so uncommon. You know, as I always say, you get movies in horror that are 10 out of 10. But there isn't many. You get movies in horror that are great. Not many. You get horror movies that are a bit more just good, right? So let me reword that and go the opposite order. Very few horror movies are actually good. Even fewer than that are great. And the fewest are amazing. There isn't many great horror movies for the simple reason horror is a very audience based kind of experience. Horror and comedy really rely on connecting to the audience. If you don't connect to the audience, your horror movie isn't going to stand the test of time. If your comedy movie doesn't make people laugh, it's not going to stand the test of time. That's just like horror and comedy. It's the two hardest things to pull off because you're relying so much on the human's response and connection to said events in your film that resonate with people, which is why Woman in Black did as well as it did. Sinister, Paranormal Activity, It, like, you know, the first Nightmare on Elm Street, the first Halloween, the first Scream, the first Jason movie, the first Leatherface movie, the first Chucky movie. Hell, I've even heard the Terrifiers in with a good shout now. You know, it's so reliant on how the audience perceive it. And it's not easy. It really isn't. But with this movie, it just felt like we were playing house with Michael Myers featuring in it, you know? And again, I don't like that. I don't buy it. It doesn't feel like a natural progression for the story or the characters. It feels like it was just done just for the sake of being different in the third act. And again, you can't do that. Cannot do that. 3-act structure. It's so important. It really frustrates me, you know? And I've been stewing on this a while because I've been waiting for the right moment to talk about Halloween Ends because I've touched upon it in recent streams, but not like this. You know, I'm going to pull up an image, right, of the 3-act structure, right? And I want to show you all why it's important. And we're going to go through it. I'm going to show you all exactly why it's important. Now, again, if you're training in acting, film, media, TV, theater, you know this. But just for the common, and I say this in a nice way, the common person, this is what the 3-act structure is, right? Okay, so we got it up here. 3-act structure. And just for dramatic effect, because I'm doing a Halloween stream. There you go. But that is the background. Right, so the 3-act structure. Let's go through this, right? Like I did at the start. But let's go through this because we've got more details. Right, just finished my Pepsi. So, Act 1. Setup, foundation, beginning. Okay? You start with the beginning. You have an inciting incident, second thoughts, climax of Act 1, end credits. The Force Awakens is the best example I can give of this. The beginning. The raid on Jakku. Inciting incident. Starkiller base. Second thoughts. The characters questioning whether they can defeat the Starkiller base and take the fight to the First Order. Climax of Act 1. Starkiller base explodes. Han Solo dies. That's the end of Act 1. Then you get to Act 2. And as you can see here, look at this structure. Act 2 is is so key, okay? Act 1 and Act 3 are key. But if you don't have an Act 2, then it means nothing. Act 2 is I dare say it. They all complement each other, but Act 2 in and of itself is the most important one. Like, if I have to be completely blunt, it's the most important. I'm going to use Empire Strikes Back for Act 2. Obstacle. Okay? So you have the Battle of Hoth, where the heroes are outnumbered, they're on the run, they're scattered, and then you have what's called an ascending action, which means, essentially, the stakes start to get raised. So, after the Battle of Hoth, the heroes are on the run. They're on the run from the Empire. The Empire are chasing them through the galaxy. Then you get Obstacle, right? Where, let's say, what could be a good part of Empire Strikes Back? Luke on Dagobah. He goes to visit Yoda, gets some training, and then learns about the Force. Midpoint. A big twist. The big twist here being that Boba Fett is tracking Han's ship. Boba Fett is tracking the Millennium Falcon through space, right? That's the big twist. Now, obviously, we know the big twist of Empire Strikes Back, but in this timeline of Act 2, we're going to put it there. Obstacle. Lando's betrayal. Lando sells out his best friend to the Empire. Disaster. You have Luke being faced with the potential guilt of his friends dying. He's excelling in the Force. He's learning all these new techniques and abilities. He's now questioning, I might lose my friends. They might die. I need to do something about this. That could potentially be a disaster. And that's what the moment of realization he has in the cave when he's fighting Vader in that hallucination. Then you get the crisis. And we all know what that is. No, I am your father. No! No! Luke Skywalker, in this moment, has just discovered that the biggest, baddest mother in the galaxy is his dad. His dad. The baddest arsehole in the entire universe is his father. Imagine that. The questions. What does that say about me? What's my place in all this? Should I be with him? Should I even be fighting for the Jedi? What do I do? Where do I go from here? That revelation is one of the single most, it is arguably the most impactful cinematic moment in history, because every single movie's tried to replicate it. I am your father. And this is where everyone gets it wrong. It's not, no, Luke, I am your father. It's just, no, I am your father. So let's just get that right. But it puts Luke in a state of turmoil. He doesn't know what to do. He's literally there at the end of Empire Strikes Back like this. Let me show you. He's literally like this. He's literally this. Ben, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me, Ben? Like, he's questioning it all. He's like, what was the point of it all? Was this all for nothing? You know, was it all for nothing? That's what he's thinking. And then you get to literally the end of Act 2, where you've got Han taken away. So actually, no. Disaster isn't Lando selling them out. The disaster is Han Solo getting frozen in carbonite and being taken away. Leia and Chewbacca and Lando are trying to run after him to get him. Boba Fett takes Han Solo away. Are we ever going to see him again? Is he dead? Is that it? Is that the end of Han? Like, this is how you do a second act, right? Again, it's not my opinion. It's quantifiable. It's right here. It's right here. That's why Empire Strikes Back is regarded as one of the best movies of all time, because it follows this act structure perfectly. Then you get the ending of Act 2. You get Luke and Leia looking off into the Milky Way galaxy image. One of my favorite endings of any movie ever. You've got Lando and Chewie saying, "Princess, we'll find Han. I promise." Even though he's wearing Han's clothes. It's really weird. And then the movie ends, but you're left uncertain. It's bittersweet. Like, you're looking forward to the next chapter, but there's a part of you that's like, oh my God, I have no idea if they're going to do it. So then when you get to Act 3, there's the descending action. You've reached the climax. You've reached the pinnacle in your story. And now it's time to use the lessons that we've learned and the journey that we've all gone through to win. So Return of the Jedi, right here. So the first half of Return of the Jedi, you've got Jabba the Hutt and all that stuff and Ewoks and then Yoda passing away. That is meant to just wrap up the mini story arcs. The mini story arcs of Han, Luke, and Leia across the trilogy. Just the mini story arcs. You've got Luke getting his mini story arc with Yoda being wrapped up. You've got Han's story arc with Jabba being wrapped up. You've got Leia's arc with her in the rebellion coming full circle. And then you get to the end of Act 3, where we're in the wrap-up, and we've got Luke versus Vader and Palpatine, and we've got the Death Star Mark II explosion. We've got Han and Leia taking the fight to the Empire, and then you've got the Ewok, yub-nub end, and then Act 3, boom, bang, resolution, done. That's it. This is why the 3-act structure is so vital. Everything I've literally just I've literally just explained to you what they would teach you in any film class, any theater class, I've literally just explained it to you all. This is why I have a huge issue with Halloween Ends, because it doesn't honor the 3rd act. It doesn't honor it. Let me pull it up again just to show you all one more time. Again, with my hugest problem. A descending action, okay? So it being a descending action, Halloween Ends doesn't do that. It does a rising action or an ascending action again. You can't do that. That's not a 3rd act. And that's why Halloween Ends is one of the single most disappointing movie experiences of my life. As I've said before, shout out to the couple that was in the cinema. But the movie was so bad, they bought a packet of Haribos from the concession stand, right? Bear in mind, cinema prices, the Haribo packet is going to be expensive as hell. They left the packet, not only did they leave the movie early after Michael got axed, right, before he was taken to the grinder, they left early, they left the sweets on the seat unopened and left. They left the bag of sweets unopened on the seat. That's the benchmark for how bad this movie is. That's the benchmark. Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking and disappointing. Heartbreaking and disappointing. That's all I have to say for Halloween Ends. It's just disappointing. I could spend hours literally saying, I would have done this, I would have done that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because it's too late. It's done now. Now, I'm going to go get my squash because I'm going to hang on stream for another hour. I'll be right back. Meanwhile, here's a word from our sponsors.
Jesus Christ.
Right, I'm back. I am back. Oh, man. Now you will see why I drink a lot on stream. It's because, yeah. Look at that. Oh, ice cold. But yeah, Halloween Ends. Disappointment. Failure. Just terrible. Now I'm going to go back through the chat to see if I missed anything. How you end it is more important than ending. Yes, how you end something is so crucial. Like it's all well and good saying, "Oh, this is it. It's ending. That's it. It's done. We're wrapping it up." But if you end it on a whimper, then it means nothing. It literally means nothing. You've wasted everyone, yours and everyone else's time. You've wasted it. It's like Avengers Endgame, okay? You can have your thoughts on the movie. Hey Lee, what's up, dude? You can have your thoughts on the movie, but one thing you cannot dispute, it feels like an ending. Like, obviously, Endgame sets stuff up, of course, because it's the MCU. But it feels penultimate. It feels while watching it, you're like, you know what? There's an ending here. It feels like I'm watching the ending of something. With ends, I don't feel that. Heartbreaking. Really heartbreaking. Unbelievable. We had the opportunity to have an actual decent trilogy for Halloween. Choked at the end zone. Unbelievable. All right, get your questions in, everyone. I'll start talking to everyone in the chat. You've all been kind of sat there for God knows how long. See, this is what I mean. Right. This is a prime example right here. Think of Return of the Jedi. At the end of Empire Strikes Back, what happens to Han? Is he alive? Are we going to see him again? The beginning of Return of the Jedi answers that. Karen's death means nothing to the story. They do nothing with it. She's literally a picture on a fridge. Like when Michael comes back, Allison and Laurie should both be like, you know, all right, we're going to war now. Like that. That's what should be happening. Yep, I agree. Soldier Boy, I need to do that. Heartbreak. What's up, Jacob? The $15 man in the back. Yep. Yeah. Oh, Chris, I can't wait to see your thoughts on it. Heartbreak. What's up? The $15 man in back. Yeah. $15. Well, £15 I spent on this. I literally traveled to the cinema, paid money, bought popcorn and a drink to sit in a nice deluxe seat to watch Halloween Ends. Extremely, extremely disappointing. Very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. I love eating beef jerky, but I can't eat it on stream. It just keeps drying my mouth out. Joseph Blocker says, did you watch Tales of the Jedi? Yes, I did. Loved that. I loved it. When I say I love Tales of the Jedi, oh yeah. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Really did. It was the Count Dooku prequel that I always wanted. And I loved it. I loved it for that alone. What did you get for a drink? Oh, I just got a water. Normally I get an Oreo shake with like Oreo pieces. But I don't know. There was something telling me that I wasn't going to enjoy the Oreo shake. And I'm kind of inclined to wonder why, you know? Tales of the Jedi was great, but they were so short. Yeah, that's the thing. I wish they were... The hell? Damn. I wish they were longer, but they were all right. Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, that... But at least with Rise of Skywalker, as disappointing as it is, it feels like a third act. Like, it feels like an ending, in a way. And I must say, John Williams' soundtrack for that movie is off the chain. Like, I love the soundtrack that plays for Rey, Finn, and Poe. Like, I love that. It's a beautiful, beautiful soundtrack. But the movie in and of itself is disappointed. I'd rather eat a cockroach than watch Halloween Ends. Damn. Well, I mean, I don't have a cockroach, but I will eat a one of these. Hey, Oreo shakes. Goated. On a brighter note, thoughts on the new MCU trailers, Wakanda Forever and Quantumania. Okay. let me do Ant-Man first. So, with Quantumania, I think someone should do a compilation of how much I drink. But with Quantumania, I know everyone's expecting Scott to die, but I feel like that's too obvious. I feel like Hank is going to be the one that goes. I think Kang's going to kill off Hank. And the reason I say that is Kang... Look, Thanos is always going to be cool, but you need something to differentiate and separate Kang from Thanos. And I think Kang taking out Hank Pym, the original Ant-Man, speaks volumes of what we're going to be in for. That I think it speaks volumes of what we're going to be in for. And I think Kang is going to come in there and kill his ass. Like that's what I think. I think Hank's going to be the one that goes. I think Janet might live to like sort of usher in the female squad or whatever, but I think Hank will be the one to go. But in terms of Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, that movie is going to be heartbreaking. Like I can't wait to see it, but from all I've heard, especially I think I don't know if any of you guys watch Real Rejects, but they did like a little mini review. And it looked like the dude was literally just fresh off of crying. So I think the movie is going to be a tearjerker. I think it's going to be quite an emotionally moving story. And I think that with Namor's character and his backstory, I think he will be spared because that's what T'Challa would do. I think Namor is going to be a conflicted anti-hero for the movie. And I think T'Challa's memory and his spirit is going to be what keeps Namor alive. And I think that's going to be where Namor is indebted to the people of Wakanda. And that's where you have a protector of land and sea. And I wouldn't be surprised if you have multiple Black Panthers. I think Shuri will be the main one. I think M'Baku will get a suit. I think Okoye could get one. And I think T'Challa's missus and maybe Angela Bassett's character. Just give them all a suit. Why not? Scott doesn't die. He's alive in Elite credit. Well, I mean, yeah, but we'll have to wait and see until the movie comes out. They're paying. I've tried them. What's worse, Venom 2 or Halloween Ends? Well, I'd say Halloween Ends. Venom 2 is bad, but I can watch it. Halloween Ends, like yesterday, I fell asleep. Oreo Blizzard. Oh, dude. Wait. Is that the one I'm thinking of? Ooh! I've only ever seen images. They don't sell that over here, but I really want it. Yeah, Hank is going to die, for sure. Speaking of Marvel, have you seen the old animated series Spectacular Spider-Man? Wait, you mean the... I need to clarify, because there's the 2008 one. I watched bits and pieces of it. I was more of... how do I say it? I was more of into the 90s one, you know, the Spider-Man. I was more into that one. Yeah, Real Rejects are great. Have you ever cried watching a movie? I've cried multiple times in reactions. Damn, GD, you didn't have to tell it like it is. Yeah, so I shed a tear, right? I'll tell you a few instances where I've actually cried on stream. Where Robbie and Johnny hugged in season 4. That hit me. The whole scene with Daniel, Miyagi, Amanda, Robbie, Miguel, like that whole episode 6 ending. The scene from Kenobi where Anakin, like Hayden and Ewan were in that flashback, like that got me. You know, I was like, you know what? Regardless of how Kenobi turned out, seeing Hayden and Ewan opposite each other again, and the soundtrack was actually really good for that scene. You know, you've got Hayden like looking off into the distance of Coruscant. Is he looking at like Padme's building or whatever? And then you've got Ewan and Hayden sort of like opposite each other. It was an emotionally moving thing. It was like, you know what? I feel like a kid again. Aunt May's death in No Way Home, that got me. Uncle Ben's death in the original one, that got me. Gwen's death in Amazing Spider-Man 2, that got me. Uncle Ben's death in Andrew's one, that got me. Jack Sparrow's death in Dead Man's Chest when I was not like 8 or 9 years old. That got me. Still never forgave Elizabeth for that. Force Awakens, Han Solo's death, that broke me. Revenge of the Sith, just Revenge of the Sith in general. Like the first, because you got to understand, with Revenge of the Sith, I watched The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and the original trilogy on repeat. Like I watched them every day. So when Revenge of the Sith was coming out, I was depressed as hell. Like I was like, man, I don't want my hero to fall to the dark side. What is this? I don't want all this sadness to happen. And I think when I was watching it the first time, the minute Mace Windu died, I was like, oh shit. And then I had the realization, yeah, Order 66, Clone Wars season 7, the whole thing with Ahsoka and Rex surviving on the Venator, that got me right there. Harry Potter, anytime a character dies in Harry Potter, that shit breaks me. Transformers, Dark of the Moon, where Bumblebee, like Soundwave has the gun to Bumblebee's head and you think Bumblebee's about to get his head blown off. Dark Knight Rises, the first time I saw The Dark Knight Rises when I thought Batman had died. Logan, when Logan dies, that gets me. Spider-Man 3, Harry's death. Iron Man, Yinsen's death. That one's very underrated. Guardians of the Galaxy, Yondu's death. That he may have been your father, boy, but he wasn't your daddy. That was heartbreaking. Fast and Furious 7, the whole tribute to Paul Walker. That's where everyone cried, man. Everyone. Like, there's been so many instances. Like, I think, with storytelling, storytelling is designed to evoke an emotion within you, and if you cry at it, that's just a testament to how good the storytelling actually is. And it's sort of like a thing where you get to a point where, yes, it's not real, but ultimately that's the power of storytelling. Let me see if I can find just to show you. Like hang on, where is it? I think oh, and that's the other bit. The Kenobi finale with Hayden and Ewan, and Ewan's like, I'm sorry, Anakin. I was like, man, he got me with that. All right, I just got to mute this advert. How dare I be monetized? I'll probably be streaming for a long time, guys, so don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Let me just get the clip up. I mean, for those who have seen it, but I just where is it? So like everything about this scene, it broke me to my core. Like when I say it, like when I say it broke me, it broke me.
Yeah.
Where is it?
I think that might be.
See, look, I mean, you can already see me getting like misty-eyed. You can already see me getting misty-eyed already. But I think the minute that sold it for me was the fact when Daniel and Amanda had the conversation, and then when Robbie walks in and apologizes, like that got me. Like that's what got me. Like wait for my. It's the moment.
In the game.
Like the moment, the right here.
It's like parallel of the Black Widow speech.
Wait for it. And in 3, 2, 1, there, bang.
Dude, the first.
Yep, it got me. 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 My man could have read 3 Shakespeare novels and it still wouldn't prolong itself longer than Jacob stating all the times he's cried, but I can't judge practically everyone bawled during these scenes. Hey, to be fair, right, there's one of my first ever acting things. There was someone in the audience that never cried, ever. Like, they didn't, well, apparently. They didn't cry at anything. But my performance was so strong, I brought them to tears. So, hey, trust me, I don't care if you got a heart of stone, I'm going to get you. It works. But yeah, it's crazy, but storytelling is designed to evoke an emotion within you. It's meant to be something that resonates with you to a deeper level. That's why ultimately we watch stories, I think the first time I watched Prison Break when I was a kid, when Michael Schofield, like, he dies at the end of season 4, that got me then. What was another one? Yeah, so many moments. But you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Come on, people, get some more questions in. Enjoy some more Oreo bites. Oh, that's a good one. When he's like, you know, I'm Spider-Man, no more. And then Uncle Ben's just like holding his hand out like that. Man, that first scene in that first Spider-Man movie where he's sitting there in the car and, you know, and he's like, I know I'm not your father and I don't mean to preach. You know, no, he's like, what is it? No. Yeah, he says, I know I'm not your father and I don't mean to preach. And then, you know, Peter responds with, then stop pretending to be. The actor, was it Cliff? His performance in that moment alone, where using his facial expression to convey how heartbroken and devastated he is, you know, when he just turns around and he goes, right, I'll pick you up here, 10. I'm like, man, damn it. And then also, on that, I see Daniel being mentioned in the chat. When Daniel made Mr. Miyagi cry, oh, no. You don't make Mr. Miyagi cry. Naughty. If Kreese dies in season 6, how heartbreaking do you think it will be? I think it will be hard. I think genuinely, it will be the saddest moment of the show. Because I think Kreese's character, if there was ever any hope of him redeeming, after season 5, it's gone out the window. Like, I think Kreese is going to just be Kreese till the end. And I think he's going to be that tragic Hollywood redemption. As much as I rag on it, as much as I complain about the fact that Hollywood redemption characters get killed off the way they do, I think Kreese's one is kind of set in stone. I think it's going to happen. And it's going to be sad when it does, because Johnny wanted him to be better. Robbie learned a lot from him. Tori and Kreese had a bond. You know, I think Johnny, Robbie, and Tori are going to feel it the worst, you know, especially Johnny. And there was one chapter where he talks about Pat Morita in the ending of the chapter. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me, and I don't want to put words in Ralph's mouth, but it wouldn't surprise me if he can't watch Karate Kid 3 on the basis of Daniel swearing at Mr. Miyagi. Like, even though it's just the characters, you know, him seeing Pat crying in that scene, that he probably can't watch that. He probably can't watch it. Seriously, he probably can't. I need to get that book and read it. Thoughts on WWE in this current time? Well, I've been keeping an eye on the Roman Reigns bloodline stuff with them and Sami Zayn. And then Sami Zayn made them all break character. Like that I liked. But I don't know. I've been beaten down by the product, you know? Kreese saves Johnny by taking the silver bullet. Yo. Hey, what if Kreese uses the move on that scroll against Silver? All right, Joe. Okay, no worries, GD. I got to head off. I got one last question. Due to Martin Moo's old age, do you see the Kreese and Silver fight be a mix of the young selves fighting their old selves? Yes, absolutely. I think the fight in the jail with the young Kreese actor, yes, symbolically, it was about Kreese getting in touch with his roots. It was about Kreese rediscovering that fire within him. Ultimately, it's also a good way of using the actors. I think when Kreese and Silver finally throw down, you're going to have flashbacks cutting back and forth between young Kreese and young Silver versus old Kreese and old Silver. That's what I think is going to happen. But take care of yourself, GD, bro. Thanks for popping in, man. I hope all's well. I mean, hell, Nottingham Forest, eh? Well, I can't really talk. We lost to Brighton. I don't think, even though I don't like CW shows anymore, is there any scenes in Arrow or Flash that made you emotional? There's one scene that got me more hyped than out of any CW show. The most I've been hyped was the season 5 finale. When Oliver approaches Slade in the prison, hands him the helmet, and then Slade's like, you know, you and me, kid, like old times. Oh, chills. See you, GD, brother. You take care, yeah? To be fair, I might have to watch that episode after this. That episode was so freaking good. But yeah, everyone raise a toast to GD in the chat. Oh, yeah, for sure. Because as much as Silver's twisted, that Kreese is his best friend. It's like Bucky and Cap, you know? Yeah, right back at you, GD, bro. Right back at you. Right back at you. And what's that display picture? Is that... Let me have a little look-see. Oh, cool. I like it. Football one. Nice. But yeah, like it's going to be... There's another... I think when... In The Flash, when Barry's dad dies, right? Henry, when he gets killed, I'd say the first time Iris looked like she was going to die, the scene where Harrison Wells, like all versions of him are dying. What else is there? There's quite a few moments in the CW shows, you know? As much as I rag on them, they do have their moments. The Captain Cold and Heatwave stuff. I love that scene. There's a scene at the end of the first season of Legends of Tomorrow where Captain Cold and Heatwave are meeting in present day. Well, Heatwave's from the future, but he's meeting Captain Cold back in the day to have one last drink with him and say goodbye. That got me. And there's like a soundtrack that plays. It's like a soft piano, dun dun ding, like and it's sort of like Prison Breaky, but in piano. Like I like it. Master Jacob, happy Halloween, Mystic. Damn, I didn't know that, Chris. Man. Yep. Oh, that scene at the end of season 1 where Barry's talking to his mum. That hits. That scene was heartbreaking. As much as, despite what the CW shows became, they had some great moments. I loved any scene with Diggle and Oliver. Like the chemistry between David Ramsey and Stephen Amell. It's the highlight of Arrow. Like them two, highlight of Arrow. And I think the bromance between the both of them is what made the show so successful. Like, obviously, you got Roy, you got Thea, and everything else. But the bromance between those two characters are what carried the show, you know? And the fact that Oliver had a best friend brother in Tommy, and he lost him. Diggle had a brother and lost him, and they both kind of found brothers with like in each other, if that makes sense. It's like Rick and Daryl. When Shane goes on his path of craziness, Rick finds a new brother in Daryl, and their bond is... It goes right up to season 9 when Rick supposedly dies, you know, on the bridge, you know? There's been some emotional moments in The Walking Dead. I mean, hell, Abraham and Glenn's death, Jesus, that got me. Like, that broke me. I stopped watching the CW shows, but in the Flash season 2 finale where Barry's dad dies, Grant Gustin's acting. Yeah, Grant Gustin is great. His performance, everyone rags on him, you know, and says that he's terrible. I disagree. I think Grant Gustin is amazing. I think Grant Gustin is really freaking good. Any scenes in Stranger Things? Oh, good shout. Eddie's death, that got me. I mean, the stuff with Max was sad, but it's the Eddie stuff that broke me the most. And then that song plays, you know, flying, you know, the song that plays from the first season, like that got me. Billy's death, it kind of got me. Like, I didn't cry or bawl my eyes out, but I was sad. I was like, oh man, that's a shame. Then you got Hopper disappearing. That was pretty sad. There's quite a few moments across Stranger Things where there's some sad things, but I think Eddie's one, that's the one that got me the most, because I think it's so refreshing to see a story about a punk rock dude that's actually a lovely guy. And that's the thing. Most punk rock people are genuinely lovely. There's just a massive stereotype around them, you know, where they're like, oh, because you listen to Metallica and you got loads of rings, you're an evil asshole. It's like, no, Eddie was the loveliest person in the entire world. And he gets, you know, served and he dies. You know, I hated that, man. I didn't run away this time, right? Ah, that got me. Got me. It got me. Oh, yeah. It's a good scene. Very good scene. Do I watch House of the Dragon? No, I'm going to finish watching Game of Thrones first because I know it's gonna shock people. I never finished Game of Thrones. So I'm going to finish Game of Thrones first and then go from there. But we shall see. Just responding to... Yeah. I mean, it's like Dustin said. Eddie saved a town. You know, it's funny. I think the guy that... I've seen the actor that plays Eddie's dad in a lot of other films. But essentially, he saved a town that hated him. You know, it's just heartbreaking stuff, you know? It's sad. This is why I was so pissed off when they killed him. I was like, you could have done so much more than what you did. With the Doctor Who 60th special coming up, I mean, when the Doctor and Rose were split up in season 1 as a kid, oh, that broke me. Donna and her exit, that broke me. Everything after the season 4 finale with the Tennant's Doctor and his exit, and then his regeneration, got me. Matt Smith's exit, that got me. A lot of good moments in that as well. Have you ever played Spyro? Have I ever played Spyro? Come on, I've got bloody Spyro up on my PlayStation. Hang on, where is it? Let's see if I can find it. Hang on. Bro, look at this. PlayStation 2 days, man. Look at this sticker. Look at that. 2 for £20 or $12.99 each from MVC. Back in the day. Have I ever played Spyro? Literally nobody cared about Eddie dying besides his uncle and Dustin. Yeah, I don't like the fact that Steve and Nancy don't address it either. Steve, Nancy, and Robin, they don't address it either. Like that doesn't sit right with me. Frustrates me. Well, man, that wind is crazy. It just doesn't sit right with me, you know? The hell almighty. I'm not even gonna comment on that. Jacob the Game Master. You're damn right. Hell, I used to get the magazines of Games Master all the time. What can I say? You know how they say Jack of all trades? I'm a Jacob of all trades. Good at everything. Oh. When Andros killed Zordon in Power Rangers. Oh, man. Andros, damn you. That got me as well. Have you played the Tomb Raider games? I mean, I played them as a kid a little bit, but I never really got into it much. Did you watch Gotham? Nah. I tried. It just wasn't for me. I just couldn't get into it. Oh, Breaking Bad. When Hank dies, right? When Hank dies, and then when Walter dies, and then the whole of El Camino with Jesse. Top tier. There we go. But yeah, get your final questions in, people. I'll be streaming for probably another 10 minutes. We'll see. Depends on how many more people join. Because the funny thing is, whenever I say I'm about to end in 10 minutes, another 10 people join. It always happens. Even though the scene wasn't supposed to be emotional, when Superman beat the crap out of Zod after he was threatening his mum, it got me hyped and emotional seeing a son protect his mother. You're damn right. I mean, pretty much any son worth a damn, while that scene was playing, was literally doing this. When Superman's like, you know what? You think you can touch my mother. And he's pounding him. I was like, man, beat his ass. You know, it's every single person had the same, you know, kind of feeling, you know, in that scene. When Jesse gets in that cage in chains, yep. Breaking Bad has a lot of heartbreaking moments, especially Walter's story in general. Like, you know, it started with him trying to do the right thing, and then all of a sudden, you know, things just go sideways, and it doesn't work the way that you kind of want it to. It's sad, you know, it's a sad thing. If Sam beats Kim's best student, the Sekai Taikai, do you think Kim will want revenge? Oh, for sure. But it depends. It depends how long they want to drag it out, you know? I mean, I'd be content with them losing at the Sekai Taikai, and that would be it. But we'll see. We shall see. We shall see. We shall see indeed. You remember that scene when Walter gets pizza and it ends up on the roof? Hey, I'm more partial to the scene where he goes, "Fuck you, Bogdan." I said, "Fuck you and your eyebrows." Wipe down this. Have you seen Black Adam yet? Yes, I have. The first movie in my life that is defined by that post-credit scene. Now you want emotion. How about this? Cobra fight. Yeah, I spoke about that earlier, Mystic. That it broke me. In the Power Rangers movie where Billy dies, that was an emotional one because Jason. Yeah. Yep. There's a song that plays during that scene that was quite. Yeah, that got me. I really don't mind season 6 being the final season. Maybe. It's a hot take, but you remember when Alfred almost died in Batman and Robin? I mean, that was sad. Sorry, guys, I had to put Hulk's ass on screen. That was a bit, yeah, man. When he almost died, that, oh my god. What is your favorite watch party you've done with the Kings? I'm gonna say Spider-Man because it was the first one we ever done. Or no, was it? I think it was Mask of the Phantasm, wasn't it? Was it either that or Venom? 1 second. It might have been Venom, to be fair. Let me have a little look. I can't even remember. I've done so many streams now with the Kings. Hang on. Tell you what I'm going to do. Right, filter. All right. It won't let me go from backwards. It's kind of frustrating. Filter. Come on. This is ridiculous. Hang on. Right. Let me go all the way back. I'm determined to I'm determined to find it. I think it was it Mask of the Phantasm? Oh, it was Venom. Oh, it was Venom. I did enjoy Black Adam, but it was extremely generic. Yeah, I mean, again, the movie is what I expected it to be. The most electrifying man in all DC entertainment. So I knew what to expect going in, so I had a good time. You know? Called it ages ago. I mean, as soon as The Rock was cast as Black Adam, I said any hope of getting the actual Black Adam character spot on, right out the window. Have a feeling that Flash season 9 will be emotional. Yeah, I mean, I'm tempted to watch maybe the finale, just because, I mean, up until I'd say Flash season 6, I used to really enjoy watching it. Like Flash and Arrow and Legends, like back in the day, I used to enjoy watching those every week. And then I fell off the grid. It was Venom. King, that is crazy. Venom was like, what, nearly 2 years ago now? So mad. So mad to me. It's crazy how time flies. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. Man, time really does fly, you know? It's one of the things I've learned as I've gotten older is that time really does fly. Like it goes fast. Like it wasn't so long ago that me being 19, seemed like everything was crazy in the world, and I'm 25, and yeah, it's mad. It's just mad how things change like that. It's so strange. It's such an adjustment. But yeah, get your final questions in, people. Final questions in, and then I'll be rounding off. Well, we'll see, because every time I say that, there's always about 50 people that end up coming in as I say I'm about to end. But I think Flash Season 9 has potential to be pretty good. I still stand by what I said. Flash Season 1 and 2 is peak. Especially Season 2. Obvious dude. What's up? Did you do anything for Halloween? Not really. I mean, I spent my whole week dressing up doing stuff. So naturally, I just, I mean, I know a couple of people that did some things, but I didn't do much. I probably could have done a bit more, but, it is what it is. It is what it is. What's your Halloween movie out of the franchise? So I assume you mean favorite. I'm gonna say Kills, because I rewatch it the most. Like, I think the best one is the first one. I think the second best one is the second one. I think the third best one is 18, and I think the fourth best one, I don't know, but I prefer Kills because I rewatch it the most. I mean, seasons 1 to 3 of Flash was peak storytelling. Well, not peak storytelling, but it was enjoyable, It's crazy how long I've been watching your channel. Time flies by so fast when you're having fun. Yeah, it does. I mean, again, it's crazy because I've got a lot of varying ages in the chat. Like, everyone in the chat, comment how old you are. I just want to gauge a bit of a consensus and just see something, because I've got people of all different ages. I've got people in like their 30s, people in their 20s, people in their late teens, but I've got a lot of late teens as well. And it's crazy that you guys are growing up, watching me rag on pop culture. And it's like, I don't know if King Paris is still in the chat, and he said he was going to college. Natalie's doing stuff with college. It's mad to think that I'm doing all this and you guys are growing up while watching me. And then as I'm growing up, I'm watching you grow up. Like, it's weird. It's such a strange, it's like having a bunch of kids that aren't even mine. 19, 22, 24, 18, 31, 17, 24. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy to me that it's I remember in the live Q&A I did, the amount of times people would say that, I inspired them to pursue their goals in college and now they're trucking along. That shit's heartwarming to me, to see that you guys are pursuing your passions and whatnot, and that I've played a small role in that. It's great. It's very humbling, and I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for that. I mean, I never really had that myself, so if I can be that for other people, then that's exactly what I'll be doing. Lee, I almost spat out the squad. Not saying. You know what? Just tell us Rocky's age. So for those who don't know, Lee's dog is called Rocky. How old's Rocky? Been watching you for 2 years. 2 years! It's mad, bro. Hey, bro, I don't blame you, man, because Instagram is a shit show. I mean, for me, the way that I adapt to Instagram now is I don't take it serious. Like, I just treat it as a fun little thing where I can just post, wacky shit and whatever else. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, everyone on Instagram is faking it, so I just do what I do over there, But you're not missing much, AR. It's just people doing the same shit. Exactly. This channel's not a pop culture channel. It's a life channel. You're damn right. Now I've got a family, I've been watching since January of last year. January 2021. There you go. Snap. It's mad. just makes you think. If I didn't put out, as King said to me, if I didn't put out that one more Robbie video, it's mad. And the good thing is, when Cobra Kai is said and done, still going to be here. So I ain't going anywhere. But the good thing is look, there's my, hang on. There you go. There's my PSN. There's my PlayStation, guys. The good thing is me still being here, you know, I ain't going nowhere. So I can be like an older brother for a lot of you. So I'll happily take that responsibility. Yeah, Lisa, you've been here for 3 years. No worries, AR. You should check out Spectacular Spider-Man. I might do it. First video I watched was one of your Robbie ones. That's how everyone found me, is the Robbie videos. I owe so much to Robbie Key. Cobra Kai Season 2. Damn. Been here ages. Been here a long time. It's mad. I tell you what, let me do a little poll. Let me do a little poll. Stop. Let's start. Hang on. I'll tell you what I might do. Let's start a Q&A. No. Start a poll. What should the poll be? Would you all like to see live Q&A return? There we go. I'm going to put that in the chat. What are your plans for the future in terms of acting? I mean, I'm in training at the moment, a part-time course. So it's 1 day a week. Fingers crossed that a year from now, I can bag an agent and then finally start getting my acting stuff rolling. I've got some projects that I'm working on. So I'm excited to really delve into a lot of that and work on that. So that's going to be cool. Was the Robbie and Chosen one. Hey, the end game Robbie and Chosen thing. Yeah, I still stand by that. I mean, that was a pretty good call by me. I'm just saying. Season 3, Daniel and Johnny versus Kreese. Yep. Me and King first met each other in the comment section of another video. Like, we met each other in the comment section of the Johnny, Daniel, and Kreese fight. And it was just Star Wars with Cobra Kai characters. And then he found my channel, and the rest is history. Would love more Q&A. Cool. So there's 9 votes. So people have voted yes already. Okay. I'll put something in the pipeline. I'll put something in the pipeline and down the road. Oh, man. Time really does fly. I was talking to a friend about this the other day, that you just get so lost in the world of time that you just forget to live, you know? When you get older, it's just money, bills, and money and taxes, bills, money and taxes. And you kind of forget that, you know, we're all going to die one day. You know, it's mad. It really is mad. Hey, Sam and Robbie are in game, you know? There's a reason why Sam and Robbie are winning the Sekai Taikai. Just saying. Oh, damn, Lee, I'm sorry to hear about that. Everyone in the chat, raise a pint and good wishes to Lee's mum. Yeah, I agree. AR. It's important. Their end game as friends. Yeah. I agree. Man, it is mad breezy outside at the moment. Damn. That wind's pretty strong. Sheesh. Yeah, I think I'm going to end off there, guys. I think I said all I needed to say regarding Halloween Ends. I ragged on it for a good 15 minutes to an hour. Chilled with you guys in the chat for a little bit. But I feel like going and watching a movie for a little bit before I go to bed. I expect some more videos to pop up this week. And yeah, you know, all good wishes to your mum, Lee. All good wishes to your mum. And this is what's more important to me than anything else. The views, the subscriber count, that's great. But what I love is this kind of stuff where someone will enter like Lee, and then we'll all go, let's raise good wishes. That's what I love. Damn. Hopefully she gets better, man. Exactly. We're all with you. And I'll tell you what, we're gonna let's play an honorary clip. What's a good one? I ain't got a good one, but I'll play a clip just to make you all chuckle. Where is it? There you go.
Oh, that's right. Yes, go cry to your father, you little weasel.
That's me dealing with trolls in the comment section. Agree. You've seen the Tori and Robbie video years ago, Jake. That's how I found you. Damn, you found me on that one? Sheesh, that was like way at the beginning. That was way at the start. That is mad. That is sick. But yeah, I think I'm rounding off now. If you guys want to follow me in the meantime, in between time, it's the Last Chosen One 97 on Instagram. Y2Jacob15 if you want to add me on PlayStation. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in. I really do appreciate you all. And it's crazy how the stream started with ragging on a movie and ranting to bittersweet and somber right at the end. I love that. I love that. But again, that's what people love about my streams. So here we are. But Lee, Augustus, Mystic, AR, Dominic, Lisa, Lee again, All Valley, Tristan, I don't want to forget anyone, Cobra Kai World, MMA King Kreese Jr., Obvious Dude. I think that's everybody as recent. Yeah, I think that's everybody recent. Yeah, thank you all for tuning in. I will see you all in another stream soon. Take care of yourselves wherever you may be on planet Earth. If you're watching after the fact or on rewatch, make sure you subscribe to the Chosen Familiar. Give us a thumbs up, and I will see you all in another stream soon. Peace out, everybody. Let's play some clips before the end.
I am the captain of this ship.
All clear. Nothing above, nothing below.
Can't believe that was in a Halloween movie.
Show him his head. Come on. Open your eyes.